Hello, today we will study the Muslim law of inheritance. In this series, today's lecture is dedicated to the Sunni law of inheritance. Whenever a Sunni male or female dies and leaves behind certain properties of his own, then those properties are to be divided amongst the three category heirs. The first category is the Quranic heir, also known as sharers. The second category is the residuaries. The third category is the distant kindred. This is the rule of Muslim law that the heirs falling in the earlier category will exclude the subsequent categories. So if the property is exhausted within the sharers itself, then the residuaries will not get anything, and then the distant kindred also will not get anything. If after division of property between the sharers or Quranic heirs something is left, then that remainder goes to the this residuaries. Distant kindred will not get anything in the presence of uh, Quranic heirs and the residuaries. If there is no one in the category of Quranic heirs and also there is no one in the category of residuaries, then only the property will be given to the distant kindred. However, there is one exception to this rule. It is that where only the widow or the widower, that is the spouse of the deceased, is alive and there is no one else in the category of sharers and also there is no one alive in the category of residuaries, then one half of the property will go to the living spouse of the deceased and the other half, that is other 1 by 2, that will devolve upon the distant kindreds. Okay, so today we will talk about the sharers. There are 12 sharers, out of which 4 are male and the other 8 are female. You can see the list from somewhere else also, but I will talk about the specific shares to be allotted in specific circumstances to these 12 sharers. Sharers or Quranic heirs, they are mentioned in the Quran itself and their share is fixed. It is not fluctuating. If they are available, if they are alive on the date of the death of the deceased, then they are bound to inherit. No one can exclude them otherwise than the circumstances mentioned in the Quran itself. Again, there are other laws also which talk about the rules of exclusion. For example, the murderer is disqualified from inheriting, etc. But that is an altogether different issue. Today's video is dedicated to the allotment of shares only. So what will be the allotment of shares to the 12 heirs? Let's discuss one by one. So first we have the father. So father of the deceased Muslim, father will get 1/6 in the presence of the child or child of a son, how low soever. If there is no child or child of a son, then the father will inherit as a residuary. Then we have the mother. So mother in the presence of child or child of a son, or where 2 or more siblings are left by the deceased, then she inherits as 1/6. She inherits 1/6 of the shares only when there is a child or when there is 2 or more siblings of the deceased. That is the first case. The second case is when the mother inherits 1/3. When there is no child or child of a son and there is maximum one sibling left by the deceased. So either a brother is left or a sister is left, or no brother and no sisters are left. In this particular combination, mother will get 1/3 of the share. The third special circumstance of mother is that when the spouse of the deceased is alive and the father of the deceased is alive, then the mother will take 1/3 of the remaining portion of the whole property after first deducting the share of the spouse. So if the whole property is there, then from the whole property the spouse of the deceased will get first. So whole property minus the share of the spouse equal to the remainder, and that remainder is multiplied by 1 by 3, and that is the share of the mother. So this is the third circumstance. Let me repeat the third circumstance for you. Mother will get 1/3 of the remainder in case two persons are there. Number one, the spouse of the deceased is there, and number two, the father of the deceased is there. So it is the rule of the Muslim law that first the spouse will get the share. So after deducting the share of the spouse from the whole property, whatever remains, 1/3 of that much property will go to the mother, and the remaining, the father of the deceased will inherit as the residuary. So thus far we have completed the concept of father and mother. Now let's talk about the widower, that is the husband. If the deceased was a female, then suppose she has left a husband. Husband is alive, so he has become a widower. In the presence of child or child of a son, the husband gets 1/4 of the share of the deceased. When there is no child or child of a son, then he will inherit 1/2. Next we have the widow. Widow, if there is a widow alive or multiple widows alive at on the date of the death of the deceased, then they will inherit 1/8 of the share जो है left by the deceased. So 1/8 share goes to the widow in case there is a child alive or a child of a son alive. Then in absence of child or child of a son, she will take 1/4. So she will take 1/4. After that, let's talk about the grandfather, true grandfather. So before we talk about true grandfather and others, we have to understand who is a true grandfather. There are four concepts. Number one, a true grandfather. Number two, a false grandfather. Number three, a true grandmother. Number four, a false grandmother. A true grandfather is that person who is the dada of the deceased, and between whom and the deceased only the dada intervene. For example, father, father's father, father's father's father, and so on. Then we come to the false grandfather. False grandfather is that person who is the nana of the deceased, or between whom and the deceased a nana intervenes. So mother's father, he is a nana, so he is a false grandfather. Then mother's father is also a false grandfather because he is a nana of the mother. Then father's mother's father is also a false grandfather, and so on. Third, we have the true grandmother. True grandmother is that woman between whom and the deceased no false grandfather intervenes. हिंदी में बोले तो ट्रू ग्रैंडमदर वो महिला है जिसके और डिजीज के बीच में नाना नहीं है कोई भी. सो दी मदर्स मदर इज ए ट्रू ग्रैंडमदर क्योंकि बीच में कोई नाना नहीं है. देन फादर्स मदर इज ए ट्रू ग्रैंडमदर क्योंकि बीच में कोई नाना नहीं है, एंड सो ऑन. फोर्थ कॉन्सेप्ट इज दैट ऑफ ए फॉल्स ग्रैंडमदर. So false grandmother is that woman between whom and the deceased there is a nana. So mother's father's mother, for example, is a false grandmother because there is a nana. Then father's father's mother is also a false grandmother because there is a nana. Thus far we have talked about all the four grandparents: true grandfather, true grandmother, false grandfather, false grandmother. Now we will talk about the share of the true grandfather. So true grandfather, in absence of father and nearer true grandfather, will inherit only. If there is a father alive or there is a nearer true grandfather alive, then the uh, true grandfather will not inherit anything. Then how much will the true grandfather inherit? True grandfather will inherit 1/6 in the presence of child or child of a son, how low soever, and in absence of father and nearer true grandfather. In the in the absence of child or child of a son, and in absence of father and nearer true grandfather, the true grandfather will inherit as a residuary. Now let's talk about the daughters. If there is one daughter, then she will inherit 1 by 2. If there are two or more daughters, then they will inherit 2 by 3. They will inherit this portion when there is no son. So in absence of son, they will inherit this much. When the son is present, when the son is alive, then the daughter becomes a residuary. So she will fall in the category of residuary and not as a sharer. Now let's talk about son's daughter. Son's daughter, if she is 1, she will take 1 by 2. If there are multiple son's daughters, then they together will inherit 2 by 3. She will take this much when there is no son, no daughter, and no son's son. In the presence of son or son's son or daughter, she will not inherit anything. Then there are two special circumstances. First, in the presence of son's son, son's daughter will inherit as a residuary. Second, when there is only one daughter, then that one daughter will take 1 by 2. That one daughter will take 1 by 2, and this son's daughter will take 1 by 6. Now let's talk about son's daughter. Son's daughter takes 1 by 2 if she is 1, and 2 by 3 if there are multiple son's daughters. She will take this much when there is no son, no daughter, no son's son, no son's daughter, and no son's son. Again, two special circumstances are there. First, in the presence of son's daughter becomes a residuary. Second, in presence of daughter or son's daughter, that daughter or son's daughter will take 1 by 2, and this son's daughter will take 1 by 6. After that, let's talk about uterine brother or uterine sister. If there is one uterine brother or uterine sister, he or she will inherit 1 by 6. If there are multiple uterine brothers, uterine sisters, then all of them together take they will together take 1 by 3. They take this much when there is no child of a son, and no father and no true grandfather or whatsoever. So in the absence of these four, uterine brother or uterine sister inherit. So in absence of father, true grandfather, child and child of a son, uterine brother or uterine sister will inherit. Next we have the full sister. Full sister takes 1 by 2 if she is 1, and 2 by 3 if there are multiple full sisters. They take this much when there is no child of a son, no father, no true grandfather, and no full brother. So in absence of these 5, full sister will inherit 1 by 2 or 2 by 3 as the case may be. So who are these 5 persons? Let me repeat for you. There is no full brother, no father, no true grandfather, then no child and no child of a son. If these 5 persons are not there, then the full sister takes 1 by 2. Then there is a special circumstance. If any full brother is there, then full sister takes as residuary with the full brother. Then we have the circumstance of consanguine sister. Consanguine sister, she will take 1 by 2 if she is 1 and 2 by 3 if there are multiple consanguine sisters. Then consanguine sister will inherit this much when there is no child of a son, no father, no true grandfather, no full brother, no full sister, and no consanguine brother. So in absence of these seven, the consanguine sister will take 1 by 2 or the 2 by 3 as the case may be. Let me repeat these 7 persons for you. Consanguine sister will take 1 by 2 or 2 by 3 when there is no son, no daughter, no son or daughter of a son, no father, no father's father or whatsoever, no full brother of the deceased, no full sister of the deceased, as well as no consanguine brother of the deceased. Then there is a special circumstance. The consanguine sister in presence of consanguine brother will become a residuary. She will take with the consanguine brother as a residuary. Now we are left with only one more person, that is the true grandmother. So true grandmother, whether on paternal side or the maternal side, she will inherit as a sharer. True grandmother on the maternal side, she will inherit 1 by 6 when there is no mother and no nearer true grandmother. Then the paternal true grandmother will inherit 1/6 in these four circumstances when all of these four are there. First, there is no mother. Second, there is no father. Third, there is no nearer true grandmother on the maternal or paternal side. Fourth, there is no intermediate true grandmother. Let me repeat for you. When a true grandmother is there, on the paternal side, then she will inherit 1/6 of the deceased property when there is no father, no mother of the deceased. Then there is no nearer true grandmother, either maternal or paternal, and there is no intermediate true grandmother. In absence of these four persons, the paternal true grandmother will inherit. One more thing is there. If there are maternal grandmother also and paternal grandmother also, then each one of them will inherit if they are otherwise qualified to inherit. So with this we have completed today's lecture. Thank you for watching. Share and subscribe.